Okay, guys, welcome to Empowered Elite, and we're teaming up with Aspire Nation tonight for a team call, and super excited. It is January 10th. I totally was like about to say December. I'm still catching up here. Super excited to have all of you ladies on tonight. And since we talked about goal setting and crafting your vision last week, it's really just been on my heart and my mind for the past couple of days to really talk about the basics of what creates success. A lot of times you might feel like, why does somebody have it easier than I do? Or what's the secret to all this? Or it seems so overwhelming to figure out. But guys, like, it is literally nothing more than doing the simple, basic things over and over and over a long period of time that builds upon that. So first and foremost, if you've never read The Compound Effect or The Slight Edge, I would highly suggest that you get one of those books, that you read one of those books, and that you understand the concept behind that, because prior to starting coaching, I literally had no idea how powerful the compound effect is in our lives, whether it's with your business, with your personal journey, with your nutrition, with personal development itself. And, the compound of reading 10 pages of a book every single day, day in and day out, and how different you will think and how much knowledge you will know, years from now doing that, right? So, because we want to set everybody up to have their most successful year yet, I really felt like it was important to talk about these things. And, Annalisa and I decided to team up and tag team it tonight. So, okay, first and foremost, we're going to be kind of talking about the basic benchmarks you should set and hit for your month. And obviously there are a lot of topics that we can cover that go deeper into the realms of these things. How do we master those? Who's unmuted? Oh, is that you, Annalisa?
Oh, sorry. I was looking around like, that jerk. I'll mute me. Let me just wriggle my paper in front of the thing.
So, like, there are the basics, right? And we're going to be digging more again, like, back into basics. I think that sometimes we tend to get away from the basics, from developing our skills with the basics, from getting better at those basics. And we almost like look for something, that's going to like be the one thing that's the game changer, right? A new training or a whatever, or something specific. And guys, like, no matter what happens in this business, no matter how long you've been in this business, you have to stay in these simple, basic, vital behaviors to go anywhere, to achieve any goal. And I just want to note this, that it's not just because we need to learn to nail the basics, but because if you are going to grow a successful business, you have to be able to teach your coaches how to do these basics, right? So don't think about this of just like, I have to master these and get good at these. Think about like, I want to master these so then I can teach somebody else how to master these and they can grow their own business too, right? So first and foremost, I'm just going to like read off. I wrote down a list today of some things that I think are really important. And like I said, mostly what we're going to be talking about is monthly benchmarks. But these things are like the vital behaviors, like the nitty gritty of what we need to be doing. So first and foremost, I saw some of you saying like, I struggle with creating social media content. We're going to do another call on that up and coming. But I wanted to say for right now, if you've never done this, sit down and make a list. Like literally make a 2-sided sheet. I did this as an example. Write your journey on this side and write coaching on the other side, and go through and list 10 to 20 things that you can talk about with your journey, with how this has helped you, with why it's different than it was before, with what's changed in your life, with how you feel different, with your mindset being different, your body confidence, all those things. Those are things that you can take and make into social media posts. On the flip side, with coaching, it doesn't matter if your paycheck was $78. That number came to me because that was my first paycheck ever. But sharing those small wins, right? Because $78 in a week can be life-changing to somebody that doesn't have money. Don't think that small things aren't important. They are. You just have to find ways to share those small wins, because those small wins compound to something bigger over time, right? But people need something to connect to. So for coaching, the opportunity, the fulfillment, the purpose, the friendships, the support, the hope that you're not always going to struggle with debt, or you're not going to struggle with being unable to travel. Write down those things that fuel you, that make you excited, that will allow people to connect to you. That's all we're going to talk about for social media at the moment. Yes, $78 for groceries in a week. Yes. Okay. The next thing, and I kind of mentioned this before, but is being the example. Guys, like, if you want to grow a successful business, this is not about being perfect, right? But you have to continue to get better at these skills. And like, I know it's easy to say, like, I don't get that. It's too hard for me. I suck at conversations. I suck at starting new friendships, whatever. But like, at some point in time, you have to learn those, right? And the earlier on you learn them, the better off you're going to be, because guess what? We do them forever, right? And it's something where we can continuously get better. So making sure that you're in that growth mode for you. But like I said, also because as you start to develop a team, you're going to be teaching other people how to do these things. The next thing, let's address this mindset of having this when the beginning of a new month starts and you're like, oh my God, who can I sell a challenge pack to? I need to hit a specific number of points. Really, really making sure, giving yourself a gut check of, am I thinking about sharing and helping somebody, or am I thinking about making numbers? Because the way that you go into conversations, the patience that you take in talking to people about their goals and explaining what they need is going to be entirely different, whether you are trying to push a sale or whether you are truly trying to help someone, right? And I think it's important to note that, go into every month thinking, I'm so fired up. I want to know who I can help this month. And it's just a totally different energy shift for you when you think about it like that. And if you're really focused on serving other people and helping other people, you're going to hit those numbers, right? Okay, so I'm just going to run through these things and I will look at the questions at the end. But connecting emotionally to people on Facebook is something we just kind of talked about. Tracking what you're doing daily. So tracking your behaviors, right? If what we track, we can improve upon. If you're not tracking your power hours, if you're not tracking how many people you add to your network, if you're not tracking who you're inviting to the opportunity, who you've invited to a challenge group, how do you know what you need to get better on, right? It's really that simple. Like, how do we know that we're nailing our nutrition if we're not actually measuring it and tracking it, right? It's the same thing with our business. We can't eat 74 yellow containers in a day and expect to get the same results that we would if we were tracking it. Same thing with our business basics. I posted some trackers in the team page the other day. Go grab those. Figure out what works for you, whether it's a notebook or an online tracking system. Make sure you're tracking what you're doing. Adding to your network, daily invites, follow-ups. If you've never heard it, fortune is in the follow-ups. Following up is typically, for the most part, how I hit Success Club every single month. And again, back to building the relationships. And then speaking in terms that connect to people, right? Like I kind of said this about the building the relationships, getting to know people's goals rather than trying to make a sale. And here's why. If somebody comes to you and says, hey, I saw you post about that 80-day obsession group, and you're just like, oh my God, it costs $180 and this is how you get started, right? You don't know that this person might be on a baseline level of fitness. They might have never worked out a day in their life. They might have never followed a nutrition plan, right? Maybe they have an injury. Until you really dig into those questions, you don't really know how to best offer people something, right? And here's the thing is, once you ask those questions and you figure out what their goals are, then it's easy for you to explain why Shakeology would benefit them, why the 21-day fix would work for them, maybe why they do need 80-day obsession, why the challenge group and the support and the camaraderie is going to be such a game changer for them, right? It makes it simple. So take the time in those conversations. Show excitement versus desperation. And skills, developing a skill set with conversations. Guys, like, conversations don't come naturally to some people. I don't necessarily feel like they did for me, but I had so many of them that I sucked at, that every time something didn't go right or whatever, I learned from it, right? And my wording got better, and my conversational skills got better, and my asking questions got better. So give yourself that grace to develop the skills to get better with that, right? Oh, somebody's unmuted. I don't know what's happening. Okay. Let's see. The coffee house mentality. I love this one. You probably heard me mention it before, but it's basically like thinking about when you go into a diner, right? And you sit down to order breakfast, and the waitress comes over and asks you if you want coffee. Now, when you tell her, no, I don't like coffee. No, I'd rather have tea. No, I just want orange juice. She doesn't get offended. She doesn't question herself, or if her coffee sucks, or if she shouldn't go out and offer her coffee to anybody else, right? She has that confidence where she keeps going from table to table to table, offering what she has. It is the same thing with coaching. When somebody tells you no, when somebody says, no, I'm not into that, this isn't for me, I don't think it'll work, whatever. We have to become good at overcoming objections, but B, don't lose the confidence in what you're doing and in the belief that what we do matters and that you are going to be able to impact people. They might not just be the right people, right? Having that confidence is absolutely huge. And let's see.
I'm
Okay.
going to really embarrass Crystal on her first call ever. And someone said,
Sorry.
"Your first call." Hey, Crystal.
Sorry.
Don't be sorry. I figured I'd just take that moment to.
I didn't realize.
You're fine. You're fine. I'm just doing it because I'm being silly. Welcome to the call.
Thank you.
Welcome. Okay. Oop. Somehow I just clicked my video button. Okay. And so kind of summing this up, because I could go on and on about these, but if you want to grow in this business, you have to set monthly benchmarks for yourself and you have to stick to them, right? So going back to 4 years ago when I started coaching, and, Annalisa helped me get into New Coach Boot Camp. And all I remember in the boot camp was, it was like, post on social media, hit Success Club, get to Emerald. There were all these benchmarks that are laid out for us, right? That are basically tools to guide us towards where we're going. And so any bigger goal that you want to set when you were thinking about this last week, whether that's you want to be premier this year, you want to be elite, you want to be 2-star, you want to get to new leadership. If you break down those goals into monthly goals and quarterly goals, you're doing the same thing to get there, right? You're doing these things consistently yourself. You're nailing them. You're hitting your monthly benchmarks. And then you are therefore going forward, finding people that want to do this like you, and you are teaching them how to do what you do. It is literally that simple. It is the basics, getting skilled at the basics, bringing on people that want to do this like you and teaching them the basics. It is duplication. So hopefully that makes you feel comfortable and confident that this is doable and that no goal is out of reach, right? But there is no secret to this. And a couple more things before we just really focus on Success Club and all that kind of stuff. I just want to say that time management is absolutely critical. A lot of you are still working full-time jobs or still working part-time jobs, or you are moms, or you have weird schedules or weird hours. If we don't treat this business like a business, it's never going to reward us like a business. And I think about this like, if you were to show up at your day job and just say, well, I'm not going to get anything done today because I just don't really feel like it, you probably wouldn't have a job in a couple months, right? We have to look at our coaching business with the same sense of urgency and the same seriousness that we do anything else. But we are the boss, right? So we have to be disciplined. We have to be intentional. We have to call upon ourselves to grow and push ourselves to show up for those things. So figure out time management wise you have a whole entire year ahead of you, right? If you haven't been able to get in your power hours, or it's hard for you to schedule in time for team calls because it's bedtime, whatever it is, like I over time shifted bedtimes, moved things around, work late at night, work early in the morning, like do whatever works for you, but find a way to make it a priority if this is what you really want to happen for yourself. And don't be a collector of information, guys. Like sometimes I have newer coaches say to me, like, I'm just going to go through, I'm going to learn all this stuff. I'm going to, get in the best shape ever. And then I'm going to start. And I'm like, no. Like the best thing that you can do always is take action. You're going to learn way more in the action of doing whatever it is you're doing than you are if you're just going to sit back and collect all this information and then think one day I'm going to go out and I'm just going to master it, right? Because you're not. Like we always, aren't that great at whatever we're doing when we're starting. We learn in the actual process of taking action. So if it scares you, if it makes you uncomfortable, if you're not consistent with it yet, take action and you're going to get better and it's going to get easier, right? And that should probably motivate you to show up and do it more because it's going to build your confidence. The next thing, and we always talk about this, and like I said, this is all about basics tonight, but guys, personal development. I cannot stress this enough. If you are not listening to books consistently, if you are not listening to podcasts consistently, you are doing yourself a huge disservice because in my opinion, one of the most important things with this is that you keep your motivation and your energy high. And when shit happens in your life or you fail or you miss goals, and I can tell you that a couple weeks ago, I was crying for 3 days in a row because I was real unhappy about what happened at the end of last year. But being resilient and having that rock solid mindset is so damn important over the course of your business. You are going to hit hard times. You're going to have emotional life stuff happen. You're going to have people quit on you. You're going to have crazy things happen, right? The only thing that you can guarantee is that you show up and you move forward, is your mindset, your thoughts, how you move forward, how you bounce back, what you're fueling yourself and your mind with every day. So personal development has to be a priority. And last thing, creating a sense of urgency for yourself. So like I said, with treating this like a business, like it is so easy sometimes to sit back and think like, well, like maybe 3 months from now, it'll be easier for me to get this in, or like maybe next year will be my year, or, the dreaded, if you're at the end of the month and you're sitting at Success Club 2 and you're like, maybe I'll just do better next month. Right. I want to encourage all of us to have that sense of urgency mindset. Like, guys, not to be morbid, but life is short, right? And also in the grand scheme of this business, 3 to 5 years of your life really isn't a lot. Like looking back to 4 years ago to what's changed in our life up until today, it's 180-degree difference. But that took having a sense of urgency to get to a different place. So think about what it is that you're missing out on if you're not forging forward towards those things, because it's never going to get easier. It's never going to be more convenient. There's never going to be a better time. You're never just going to magically wake up one day and not have the fears that you have, right? But finding that way to create that sense of urgency for yourself, and just grabbing things by the balls and running with it. And then trusting that the compound effect over time is going to add up for you, which really kind of brings us to the main point of all my jibber jabbering, hitting Success Club and sharing the coaching opportunity. If you want your business to grow, if you want your income to grow, if you want your residual income to grow, if you want your team to grow, if you want your influence and your impact and your social media platforms, all of these things that you want to see, your rank, the big shiny things that you're interested in, whatever it is, it all comes down to the simple basics every month. And it is so easy to overlook that. It is so easy to think that doesn't really compound. But this month actually is 48 months for me in Success Club, most of it Success Club 10 or above. And I can tell you, like now looking back, without that, I don't know where my business would be right now, right? But it is a huge, it's like a building block, brick by brick, you're growing this foundation to have a really solid business that is founded upon those things. So with that said, if you struggled with that last year, or if it's not been easy for you yet, reach out to your coach, reach out to us. Like, we're happy to help you figure those things out. But guys, like, at the end of the day, the only person that's going to make it happen is you. And a couple quick tips about ensuring that you're actually hitting Success Club every month. At the beginning of your month or at the end of the month prior, plan out your month. And in our team page, I post a team calendar. It tells you when challenge group prep week starts, when the challenge group start date is, when the next sneak peeks are. If you have a simple, organized system for yourself, it is going to be so much easier for you to know what to invite to, what to post about on social media, when you need to do your follow-ups, so that you can ensure that you are helping the people get connected with what they need to get into those things that you are offering, right? And with no plan, it just feels like total chaos all the time. So take the time to start planning that if you don't already, or just follow my plan if you want to. And then daily, getting in those basic behaviors and tracking them every single day. And guys, like, if you struggle with a certain part of it, that's okay. Start with doing one. If you struggle with sharing the coaching opportunity, like, do twice a week. Do something that pushes you beyond the comfort zone that you're at right now, but helps you get used to doing those behaviors, right? And here's one of my favorite things to remember is never decrease your goal. Always increase your efforts, increase your numbers. So, sometimes I'll have a couple people say, like, I'm ready, I'm going to dive in, I'm going to get started, I'm going to do it Friday, I'm going to whatever. And I've learned to not rely on those things, because sometimes something happens and they don't follow through, or it's not the right time. And you don't want to be stuck, stressed out, freaking out at the end of the month, that you were unable to hit your goals, right? So when the first of the month comes, run out of the gates just like you would if you were rallying in that last 48 hours a month, of the month when you're trying to reach a goal, right? How many of you have been 2 days before the end of a month being like, oh my God, and you're just like, who haven't I talked to? Like, I'm going to talk to everybody from the past 6 months, right? Imagine if every single month you come running out of the gates at, the first and the second of the month, running into your month like that. And every single month by the 7th or the 14th or whatever goal you want to set, you've been able to help 3 to 5 people. And therefore you have more time, more energy to focus on really helping people, really pouring into your challenge groups, really pouring into your coaches if you have them, and then building more conversations for the next month, right? And it takes that stress and that freak out off the plate, and you also feel more organized and more like just, there's a rhyme and a rhythm to what you're doing, right? And I think that that's it for right now. Oh, I do have some more tips, but Annalisa, you can go ahead.
Okay. I always listen to Dana like a heart eye emoji. I'm like, say more, Dana. Because she's awesome. But I got to take one of these off because I really feel like I'm in a tunnel and Ben is sleeping next door. And I don't want to be yelling. So I wanted to kind of transition into talking about the caveat to Success Club goals. And I want to make sure that I kind of lay this out correctly, because Dana said it perfectly. Like, we're going into every single month with the energy of helping people. And why does Beachbody recognize us for Success Club? Because it means we're getting people set up with the total package, right? When we're talking about earning Success Club, it's because we're helping people with that package of fitness and nutrition, and we're getting them introduced to Shakeology likely, or a performance line, things that are going to help them reach their goals. They're going to have a good experience with Beachbody. They're going to get results through our support. And so we're recognized for that. But you don't want to, like Dana said, go into the month like hunting people down because you're like, all right, it's day 1 and I need 5 points to succeed this month. Don't go into the month that way. Go into the month knowing that you're going to have more conversations, and you're going to have really personalized conversations with people to figure out what they need to be successful, to reach their goals. So I wanted to talk to you guys about the difference between Success Club points and building volume. And it gets a little bit hairy, so I don't want to overdo this. I just want to give you some food for thought. Success Club, huge. Like Dana said, she's been in it 48 months. I'm probably somewhere just around there, 48, 49, somewhere around there, just because I've been coaching longer than Dana. When she onboarded with me, she hit Success Club from the gate. So, and the perks are awesome, right? You're getting your recognition for Success Club. Success Club is part of the Elite and Premier program. If you're hitting Success Club and your coaches are hitting Success Club, you're getting points for that. So just know, if you're hitting Success Club, you're earning double points for every coach on your team that earns Success Club, so that's really important. Success Club points, typically challenge packs, you're getting $50 to $90 commission. That's awesome. All-Star Legend perks are great. We get access to registering for like the Success Club trips early, which is like a huge sigh of relief for a lot of people. Like you get the email and you don't have to be like, I gotta log on before everyone else in the Beachbody community logs on and buys something and for freaking out. So you get to breathe easy and book trips early. If you're new coaches, you get your free summit ticket. So there are tons and tons of perks for Success Club. It's huge. It drives your business. Do it. Go for it. Okay. But that should come knowing that you're talking to somebody who needs these things in their life, and you're not just selling a CrossFitter Beachbody on demand to get a Success Club point, right? You're talking to a CrossFitter who needs, by Kelly, you're talking to a CrossFitter who needs nutrition support or meal planning support or energize or something personalized to them. So in that scenario, you might get Success Club if you're doing like the performance pack, but you might not, and it's not the end of the world. You don't talk to a CrossFitter and be like, oh, they do CrossFit, I can't help them at all, right? No, you're not going to sell them a huge challenge pack maybe, but you're going to be able to help them with something. And that's where your volume growth comes in. So we recognize volume boards now, and I know a lot of new coaches and even veteran coaches see the volume board and they're like, that's great, I made the board, don't really know what it's coming from or what I did to get there, but awesome, my name's up there. So your volume board, your PV, your personal volume, comes from your purchases and your retail customer purchases. Okay, because when we have a retail customer, the volume we generate from them is directly correlated to additional income, commission income that we're getting. So your goal for residual income, lasting income, is to have a minimum of 500 PV points a month, which is like minimum. Like I'm going to show you something real quick. Hold on. Let me do a quick screen share. So you guys can see this. So when you go into your volume here and you have projected PV, right now it's up there because like this is for the week because of what's happening with 80-day obsession. Like it's big volume. You guys saw the volume board in Aspire Nation is big volume because people are getting their coaches set up with, or their customers, retail customers set up with the accessory bundles and all that. So the PV is growing. 500 a month. So when you see those leaderboards, if you're at like 200 or whatever, you're doing pretty good each week. You want to be up there weekly. It creates a residual income. So just know that that's something you want to see there. That doesn't come from coaches on your team purchasing things. Doesn't come from what their coaches do. It comes from your orders and your customer orders. And that's how to build some residual income. And I'll tell you a little bit about that, and I should have done it on, oops, wrong thing. I should have done it on screen because I wrote it down on paper, but I realized it's going to be really confusing, but let me get there in a minute. So when you're talking with people, like that CrossFitter, for example, if they just want the performance line, you're not going to be like, oh, I suck at coaching because I only got them a performance line and I didn't sell them a challenge pack and I didn't earn Success Club points off that. No, you're celebrating because one, you've got them started on something they're going to love. It's going to get them through their CrossFit workout. You're building volume and you're building income. And every time that retail customer orders more of that Energize, more of that Recover, you're earning commission on it. You're earning money on that. So just know that not everyone you enroll should be a discount coach too, right? There's a fine line. So this is where having conversations with people, personalizing your recommendations to them comes in really important. It's vital, because Elite counts those points too. So you're talking to people, if they're kind of iffy about getting involved with things and they're not like, I want to be on Shakeology for 5 months, you're not going to enroll them as a discount coach, because they're not going to do anything for you. They're not going to build any volume for you in their account. You want to earn that retail commission. So anyway, Success Club points are so important. That's like our best version. But there's also like a step down version. Like we call it good, better, best, like good, couple sales, better, like maybe a 1 HD or like performance line for 1 Success Club point, 1 item, and best is like the total package. And I'm going to lose my train of thought because I just went off topic, but anyway. But so Elite, there's Success Club points and there's PV. When your coaches produce PV through their orders and their retail customers. So you want to be encouraging people, like I said, to have those conversations and talk about what fits people best. If they're not set up for discount coaching, if they have no like desire ever to actually coach, or if they're like, don't really need a discount, don't offer it to them. You're going to be better business builders when you are providing them with what they need without giving them discounts for nothing. Like, yes, we want to save people money, but you also want to grow a business, right? So customer enrollment is huge. I hope that makes sense there. So you're earning the commission and you're still supporting them, right? So just because someone's not getting a challenge pack doesn't mean they don't get in your challenge group. Like, you don't have to be like, well, I didn't earn 2 Success Club points from you, so you're out. No, you're going to be including all of these people in your challenge groups. And guess what? All those people in 80-Day Obsession who didn't get Performance Line, Energize, and Recover or whatever, and they see everyone talking about it, well, now you have a customer who's making an additional purchase who's going to earn you some additional income, etc. Yes, I'm talking income. I hope it's not icky to anybody. We're business builders. Like, we got to know this stuff. Chatting. Okay. I wanted to also, so I hope you guys know the benefit to enrolling customer versus coaches. Coach volume still grows, still great having discount coaches. You need those things for rank advancement. Like, I didn't start playing around with customer coach until I was diamond beyond, right? I enrolled everyone as discount coach, get to diamond, lock it in, hold it tight, and then start playing around with like, okay, how am I enrolling people? That was me. Do it how you want to do it. That's what I did. I know Dana enrolled discount coaches until like yesterday. So
until like 4 months into last year.
yeah. So, I mean, and that was just something that we were like kind of learning, like, I don't know. So know this stuff going into it. I wanted to give you some numbers. Let me back up. Colleen, there's a call in Aspire Nation. Colleen Curtis did it. The Good, Better, Best model. This is where we're kind of pulling these.
On that next week, Annalisa.
Who's doing it?
We're going to do it next week.
Cool. So this is kind of the idea, but she had an awesome questionnaire. If you guys aren't using Wufoo, like I'm going to do something different. I use like my website, whatever. But anyway, use a questionnaire when people are interested, and instead of asking them a million questions, having the same conversations all the time, ask them to fill out this questionnaire where you're asking about their current fitness, their current nutrition, the current energy levels, right? We got BOD, Shakeology, 21 Day, like portion control. Like, we want to gather the information. Like, how do I give them the best recommendations? And gather that information first, so that when you are talking to somebody and they're like, oh, I need help, you're not like, oh, great, you need BOD, Shakeology, and Performance Line. And they're like, actually, I do, I keep using CrossFit as an example, but I do CrossFit and I'm like, love my meal prep or whatever. I don't know. It has to be personalized, is my point. So when you get all this information first, you can go back into being like, I see that you're already doing X, Y, and Z. Here's what I recommend for you. BOD on your off days, and Performance Line to get you through those hard workouts that you're doing when you go to your spin classes. Whatever. You have that information, you give it to them. So I love Wufoo questionnaires, because then you can go in more prepared to have a conversation and not offer them everything right off the bat. And then they're like, no, yeah, woo-foo. So, oops, W-U-F-O-O. Woo-foo. You can do a couple free ones on an unpaid membership, or a couple questionnaires on a free membership. Anyway, it's a great way to collect information, because I have been guilty of doing that, like going in and being like, I'm going to sell you everything under the sun. And they're like, I don't need any of that. Bye. And you're like, oh, how about just the performance line then? No? Okay. Or you say like, oh, a challenge pack with Shakeology. Oh, I don't want Shakeology. Oh, how about performance line? Yeah. You're like, they don't need that. Like, you got to know what they need first before you make a recommendation. Anyway, that's my recommendation on that. So I wanted to just quickly, this is my last bit here, guys, just so you understand retention and earnings. So do you guys have a pen and paper? I'm going to talk slow so you can write this down, because I don't have it like, no, okay, that's not going to work. So let's say you shoot for Success Club 10 every month, okay? This month, you help 5 people with challenge packs. Let's just say it's a $50 commission challenge pack to make this easy. 5 people, or 5 challenge packs at $50 a whack, you make $250 commission. Great. We're talking customers here, okay? These are customer enrollments, not coaches. Because the next month, on all those customers that you had in January, you're going to make $32.49 commission when they reorder Shakeology. So I'm going to break this down for you. So January, you had the 5 people, you earned $250. February, you have 5 more people because you're hitting Success Club 10. So that's $250 challenge pack commission in February, plus the 3, sorry, let me back up again. Let's say 3 out of the 5 people you enrolled in January stick with it, because not everyone's going to stick with it. So let's say 3 out of the 5 people stick with it at $32.49 commission in February for their first recurring order of Shakeology. That's $97.47. So $250 for your challenge pack sales in February, your new challengers, $97.47 residual income. That's $347.47 in February. We're building on, same thing. You hit Success Club 10 in March. That's $50 for every one of those people. That's $250. All the residual income from the 3 people from January, the 3 people from February, because people drop off, we've got some drop-offs there. That's another $195. So with just Success Club 10 and your residuals, you're making $445 in March. So it keeps growing, but that's customer commission. Coaches are not giving you that commission each month. Coaches are giving you volume, which will turn into cycle bonus, which is great, but it's even better if they're active coaches duplicating the system. And when you teach them these things, they're going to duplicate it. You're going to be growing more team volume and cycling, et cetera, et cetera. Anyway, I hope that was clear enough to understand the benefits of coach customer enrollment. So best model, Success Club all the time, but you're still growing volume when you say, okay, it doesn't sound like you need the full shebang, but I know I can help you with a 3-day refresh. I know I can help you with Shakeology or whatever. Okay, Shakeology HD, because you still earn Success Club points for that too, but you get it. Okay, Rachel, thank you. I'm glad it was helpful. Sometimes I feel like I'm just talking in circles and being like, oh, I lost everybody. So anyway, that's my spiel.
Annalisa, can we clarify real quick though, like you did mention this, but I want to make sure that people catch it. If you are a coach and you have a goal to get to Diamond or to 2-star, you need to be deciding whether people are going to be customers and or discount coaches, because customers do not count towards your downline for rank advancing. You are making higher cycle bonuses as a Diamond coach. So as you are growing residual income, that is the place of highest potential for you to be. And getting to 2-star, I would highly encourage you guys, whether you are a brand new coach right now or you've been around for a while, like if you want to grow in this business, 2-star should be a goal this year. because 2-star is where you get to open your second business center. You can place that on your weak leg and you can grow your volume there. So you're not only making income on your second business center, but you are also making income on your first business center from that second account. So it's basically like double dipping. And for me, I know that that was when I really started to see my income drastically change.
And here's the beauty, guys. Like, go into this year. Oh, that's another thing we wanted to say. Success Club 10, let's say, like, maybe you just need to, you're okay with like 2 customers moving forward, but you want to duplicate this business. So you're going heavy on active coach recruitment. Like, hit Instagram, invite people. Kelly did an awesome call that time, and I know the recording got all wacky, but she goes like 4 coach invitations, like cold invite coach invitations, and she blew it out of the water. So like, it's all these things of like, do what's best for you, do what's best for the challengers. And these are all kinds of your options where you get to decide the path you want to take in this business, whether it's rank advancing, income growth. And yes, I agree with Dana. Like I said, like I enrolled everyone and their mother as a discount coach because I wanted to rank advance. I wanted to hit that diamond milestone. And then I started being like, okay, I've got a solid foundation of coaches right now. Now everyone I enroll is pretty much customers at this point because it's just a bigger goal for me at this point. It's like, I want to grow income. So hit those big milestones first, then play with coach customer. But keep it in mind, that's what's happening. And I will also say, like Kim Carver said to me, that, and it just stuck, like, you're doing what's best for that customer. If they need the discount, if they really can't afford it, okay, put them on as a discount coach. If they're family and you're going to help them out, be like, I'm going to save you some money and put them in as a discount coach. If they've got a wedding in October and they're going to be on this journey for a long time, put them in as discount coach. They're going to be around, but you start hurting yourself when you enroll someone as a discount coach and they quit the next day because you get frustrated and they didn't really want to be a coach and whatever. So have the conversations, figure out what's the best direction, and don't just feel like you need to give them discounts.
Okay. First, I want to open up to questions, and then I'm going to have Jordan pop on for a second because I just private messaged her. And I just wanted her to quickly share how residual income has really impacted her life the past few months. So who wrote a question? You just went halfway through that. Okay. Yeah. Learning curves. And that's the hard part, is like every time something happens, you learn from it and you know what to do better in the next situation, right? So does anybody have questions? We hope this was helpful, not confusing. Obviously, like I said at the beginning, we can totally dive more into all of these topics broken down specifically on their own, but we really just wanted to nail in the compound effect of sticking to those basics and growing those basics, and don't overlook that that's what it takes to hit any big goal, whatever your goal may be. Do we have any questions? You can't tell if they're deers in headlights, Annalisa.
It's true. I just don't want people to like get off this call and be like, so fuck, like now what do I do? So just keep the options open. Keep inviting people. You'll figure it out.
Like, if this is confusing to you, like reach out to me, reach out to Annalisa, like we can further explain it. Like I mentioned, we're going to be having a call digging more into volume growth because I know for a lot of you, you're like, how do I grow this beyond just hitting Success Club and beyond you just saying like, share the coaching opportunity? Like all of those things are important. But if you specifically, if you have a goal that you want to reach and you're not exactly sure what you should do is the best way to get there, just like reach out. We're happy to help. Okay. Get your booties on the board. Does anybody have questions or no? No? Okay, Jordan, I just asked Jordan if she would pop on really quickly and just share how residual income has impacted her life the last few months. And I won't go too into detail because I don't know what she's comfortable sharing, but
Oh no, I don't mind.
she did share with me a couple weeks ago how much her residual income has impacted her life the past few months with what's happened. And I just think it's a really powerful thing to share.
Sure. Yeah, so basically what my past story, the past 4.5 months or not. Long story short, I lived on St. John and was affected by Hurricane Irma, and we lost our home and everything. We were basically, displaced back to the States, and we're currently in Maine. So obviously my husband was, his job was there, so he lost his job. And I had Beachbody, but, I had some big goals, but I was, at diamond rank. I've maintained my diamond, which by the grace of God, I have some strong ladies and men on my team. But long story short, not to get into so much of it, the past 4 months I've retreated mostly because I needed to help my family adjust and be present. And, and quite honestly too, my head wasn't in it. It's like, a lot of traumatic things and changes and whatever else. So, but it was crazy because I felt like guilty because I wasn't working and I wasn't, doing anything. But then based on everything that I had done, I was hitting Success Club, like Dana and Elisa were talking about. I hit All-Star back in, I don't know, whenever it was, before Summit this past year. And September was the first month I haven't hit it. And I was like 3 months away from Legend, which was kind of a bummer. But anyway, besides the point, residual income. So I was surprised, even though I hadn't been working and, we didn't have any income coming in, Beachbody, with just from what I had built, I was still making, I think the lowest paycheck I had was $200. And that was weekly. And then, the highest was like $350. And this is with me not having literally done anything. I hadn't signed anyone up. I hadn't, made any contacts with anyone. It was all based on, customers and coaches and, other people still, doing a lot of work. But yeah, it was amazing to me. And it was eye-opening because I've been always really passionate about the business for the business itself and like what its mission is and helping people. And I'm not going to say I'm income driven now, but it's definitely like one of those things where it was like, okay, well, if I'm doing this and not doing anything, like imagine like really income wise, what I can do if I forge forward like full force with this business. So it was, so now it's like, I've seen both sides. So it's like a whole big picture of, okay, I'm helping people, but yeah, you really do make money. And in my case, it came in like an amazing time because we had nothing. So it was, at least that, $200 to $300 every week was, paying for groceries and, buying new winter clothes for my kids because they live in flip-flops and shorts and, all that stuff. So, yeah, it's huge. So I'm very grateful for what, I had built prior and look forward to doing more with all of you. I don't know. I guess that's it. I'm sorry. I wasn't really prepared to talk about it, but I hope that helped or made sense.
Absolutely. I just, I think that it's absolutely amazing that it became something so helpful to you in a time where you never even, had expected to need it.
Yeah. And that's the thing. It was like September, October, November, December, now into January. And that's, 5 almost months of, really not working. So it was just crazy to me that residual income really is a thing.
It really is a thing.
It really is a thing.
So I just love that, Jordan. You made me tear up, but thank you. And I really just, I don't know, I hope that in some way maybe that inspires you to think about, your life and unexpected things happen and just, planning for your future and planning for your family and really going all in with this, guys, because like I said, that, you know, having that sense of urgency, because we never know what's going to happen. And we are blessed to be able to do this every day. We're blessed to be able to help people. We are blessed to have an opportunity that can provide this way. And like Annalisa just said, it is not selfish, or there's nothing wrong with being motivated by income. I mean, at the end of the day, if you're like, I want freedom, I want freedom, I want freedom, to have freedom for whatever it is in your life, you need income, right? It doesn't mean that your heart isn't in helping people or transforming people's lives or truly passionate about what you do. And I get that feeling. But that's just the bonus of it. That's a perk. And I think it's kind of like crazy sometimes that this is what we get to do. And this is just how the opportunity works. So I hope that this was helpful. Thanks everybody for hopping on. Thank you, Annalisa, and thank you, Jordan, for sharing. We will see you next week, ladies. Have a good night. Bye.